Kia ora. It's a beautiful day today, so I hope you're enjoying the sun like I am. As you may know, I am going on medical leave until the end of term 2, starting on Monday. I hand the reins over to the very capable Bex Williams, who will be acting principal, and I know you'll support her and the team while I am away. I wanted to let you know what I have done in response to the school survey and the meetings by the board at the Waitati Hall. Thank you for participating. We really appreciate it. I want you to stay at Waitati School and know that your child is having the best learning experience and is safe. The first concern was around the decline in the school roll. There are a range of reasons. Firstly, in 2021, Waitati School had too many students and was required to reduce in size. The required consultation occurred and parents wanted to choose where to send their children to school. This applied especially to intermediate schools. The ministry put an enrolment zone in place, and at the same time they put one in place for D&I. Parents started to send children to D&I and then other intermediate schools when they got to year 7 and 8. And there was a roll-on effect to this, like children's friends and where they were going to intermediate, and the fact that bigger schools had more sporting opportunities. 2. There was change in family circumstances, with parents working in town or having older children start at high school, and the convenience of not having a school run split between town and Waitati. Then there was the lack of after-school care, and we did try to run a program last year, but it wasn't financially viable. And lastly, parents wanting things that the school doesn't provide, like single-cell classrooms with one teacher. Then, the next concern was around behaviour management. Firstly, I want to reiterate, this isn't about the children with the behaviour challenges. This is about how we respond to them at Waitati School. The concern shared with the board was about students with disruptive behaviour and their management. Related to that was not understanding Waitati School's approach to the behaviour management. And finally, was your concern that our approach to behaviour management was unfair. On the positive side, school families who participated in the survey liked the variety of people in the school community and the importance of keeping the school as a place where difference is accepted and students are free to be themselves. How do we create a fair, inclusive culture at Waitati School? Well, what is inclusion? Equity helps explain this. Fair isn't everyone getting the same thing. Fair is everyone getting what they need to be successful. Like me, you want to see all children succeed as lifelong learners. How we get that is moving away from treating everyone the same, instead giving everyone the resources they need to be successful. And one of our challenges in getting to our goal is having enough resources. The complexity in supporting a range of neurodivergent students at school and the length of time it takes to A. Get additional help and diagnosis through the education system, and B. The lack of teacher aid funding, and then the length of time it takes to help these students grow and change their behaviour. There was a report out last week called Beyond Capacity, Learning Support in Crisis. You can Google it if you like. It's about the dire nature of the support system for a range of learners in New Zealand schools, and it highlighted that learners most affected include Māori and Pasifika students, those attending rural schools, and neurodivergent children. Funding is a real barrier to getting support for our students who most require it, especially in rural schools. We have a high proportion of diverse learners at Waitati School, like many other schools throughout New Zealand. Over the holidays, I contacted a range of professionals to see what I could do, despite not having enough resources. This included Karina Schroers, a specialist in therapy and education. She spoke to me about how psychological harm is uniquely individual. If you come from a home where there was no swearing, and you attend a school where students swear all the time, you might experience harm or trauma from the swearing. Conversely, if you are a student whose adults swear constantly, you probably won't even hear the words, and therefore you might not experience psychological harm. Personally, my aha moment came when I reflected that I had been paying more attention to the kids with behaviour challenges and not as much time with the children who had been affected by the behaviour. I recognised the need to support the child who has been harmed as well. Korero suggested providing times during the day where the child who has been harmed can be away from the child who is displaying challenging behaviour. This has led us to create more activities and spaces for children to play during lunchtimes. We have more adults to supervise thanks to amazing volunteers. I also spoke with two principals, one from a private school with 80% neurodiverse students. I've taken on her description of behaviour that hurts and added it to our inappropriate behaviour continuum. This makes it clear what level of behaviour gets what consequence. This includes stand-downs for physical behaviour when we've done everything we can to support a child. The other Auckland principal with a school who uses a relational neuroscience approach like us reiterated how important it is to communicate with parents when harm has occurred as soon as possible. So, when there is an incident, we are making sure that we let you know as soon as possible if your child is involved with the incident. As always, we are focusing on ensuring all children are comforted and helped to calm. Marcus Goff, our PB4L facilitator, Positive Behaviour for Learning, said that we're a progressive school and that our practice is at odds with the PB4L framework because of this. We use the framework correctly. It is not this or that, but and. Within New Zealand education, there's a drive to shift practice from a behaviourist approach to a relational neuroscience approach. The PB4L model can totally take that. It is this approach that many schools around New Zealand are beginning to use. And we're not the only school using this progressive relational neuroscience approach to behaviour that's finding it hard to communicate the change with parents. We'll be getting advice from another local school who have also been on this journey. And finally, I spoke with Rachel Halsgrave, our Senior Education Advisor, and Murray South from Ero. Murray said that we're on the right track. He suggested some surveys that we could use, and I'll be getting a link for those soon. Mike, our resource teacher of behaviour and learning, continues to work with us as well on different strategies to help our students, all of our students, with behaviour. And when I return to school, I will be releasing some videos to help understand our behaviour strategies and what we do here at Waitati. I've made one already, so I'll leave the link for that for you to have a look at. It's quick. I'm going to leave you with a positive that came out of the survey, and that is the amazing, rich range of educational opportunities at the school. Ceramics, music, drumming, enviro schools, natural environment with tons of space, the swamp. As a small school, we can offer flexibility, lower ratios of students to teachers. Your child is seen, and we try our best to include your child's interest in the learning that they do here at Waitati. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to catching up with you when I return from my break. Thank you. Ka kite anō.